All right, so the next one here, U.S. official wants to cut Russian energy exports by 50% by 2030. This is another one from Kyle. And U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for Energy Resources, Jeffrey Pyatt, people have argued about how you pronounce his name, Pyatt. I say Pyatt, I think. But anyway, if you recognize his name, that is because in 2014, when there was the coup in Ukraine, the leaked phone call with Victoria Nuland, she was speaking to Pyatt, who was the ambassador to Ukraine at the time, discussing who should be in a future Ukrainian government. And just a few days later, the government was overthrown, and the people that they were discussing were in charge of the new government. So this is comments coming from him about U.S. long-term goals for a economic war against Russia, no matter what happens in Ukraine. So he said that basically they're trying to halve Russia's energy exports, energy profits by 2030. So he said, quote, "This is something that we're going to have to stick to for years to come as long as Putin persists this war. We're going to do everything we can to help make that true," end quote. So he stated that the economic war will continue for years, even after peace is reached in Ukraine. He said, quote, "The goal of these sanctions is to change Russia's behavior and to ensure that Putin is not in a position, whenever some kind of peace is achieved, to use 3 or 4 years to rearm and prepare himself and prepare his military for stage 3 of the Ukraine invasion," end quote. So, I mean, it goes to show that, Russia sees this stuff, and that's why we don't see them, they're noticing, I'm sure, that there's this waning support in the West, and they know time is on their side, and they're not rushing to negotiate anymore. They're going to try to wait this out. They're not seeing any goodwill from the U.S., when it comes to future relations.